pencil in a glass of water looks bent, it isn't. Your eyes just lied to you. If they can deceive you about something this simple, how could you ever trust them to tell you what justice is or what a good life looks like? This is the problem that drove Plato to build a map of reality itself, a ladder with 4 rungs climbing from shadow to truth. To answer that, Plato draws a line, one vertical line cut into 4 unequal segments. The left side represents reality itself, ontology, what exists. The right side represents states of mind, epistemology, how we know. Each level of reality gets matched to exactly one way of knowing it. The mirroring is perfect, and it's the whole argument in a single picture. Climb the left column, and your mind climbs the right. Fail to climb, and you mistake shadows for the world. We'll build it from the bottom up. Bottom rung images, shadows on a wall, reflections in a puddle, and controversially, poems, paintings, sculpture. Plato lumps Homer in with shadows because all of them are copies of copies. A painted bed imitates a wooden bed, which itself only imitates the true form of a bed. 2 removes from reality. The matching state of mind is eikasia, imagination, the dimmest cognitive state, taking the image for the thing. If your whole education comes from Instagram and epic poetry, Plato thinks you're living on rung 1 and you don't even know it. Rung 2, sensible objects. Actual physical things, trees, chairs, bodies, and the pencil itself before it hit the water. The matching state of mind is pistis, belief, and here's Plato's scandal. Even ordinary seeing gives you belief, never knowledge. The pencil bends. The desert shimmers with water that isn't there. In 4th century Greece, with no theory of optics, these illusions are genuinely destabilizing. Physical things also change, they grow, decay, die. Whatever is true of them now won't be true forever. Plato calls this whole lower half the realm of becoming. Above it lies being, between them he draws a thick line. Opinion below, knowledge above. Everything we've seen so far is, for Plato, mere opinion. Now we cross the divide. Rung 3, mathematical objects. The state of mind is dianoia, deduction, reasoning from axioms. Consider the Pythagorean theorem. In any right triangle, the square on the hypotenuse equals the sum of the squares on the other 2 sides. Eternally true. You cannot vote it down. You cannot wait a century and watch it decay. If a student disputes it, they've simply misunderstood the terms. Notice what this means. The triangle you draw in sand is sloppy, finite, fading, rung 2. But the triangle your mind reasons about is perfect, exact, timeless. Mathematics is the first domain where we leave the sensible world behind and meet objects that exist only for thought. This is why Plato supposedly carved over the academy door, let no one enter who has not studied geometry. Geometry is the boot camp that trains the mind to see without eyes. Push it further. Consider the square root of -1. No physical object has this length. You cannot point at it, weigh it, or photograph it. Yet mathematicians reason about it rigorously, and the results power modern engineering. For Plato, this doesn't discredit mathematics, it discredits the physical world, a domain of objects with no sensible referent, knowable with total precision. That's exactly what real knowledge should look like. And notice the deeper claim. A true definition names a quality possessed by all and only instances of the thing. Every right triangle, no exceptions. Plato wants to export this standard to everything. What is justice? Give me the property shared by all just acts and nothing else. That's the bar. Rung 4, the forms. A paperback, a leather-bound tome, a scroll, an e-reader. Physically almost nothing in common. Paper, leather, pixels. Yet we unhesitatingly call each one a book. Why? Plato's answer, each participates in a single form, the form of bookness. They're all shadows of it. Try another. A Rembrandt self-portrait and a Dali melting clock share almost no visual features, yet something in us recognizes both as beautiful. For Plato, that's because both participate in the form of beauty itself, a single reality that the particulars only partially express. The word for form in Greek is eidos. And here's the crucial correction. Forms are not concepts in your head. They are more real than physical things, not less. Your concept of beauty is a partial, flickering grasp of the form. The form was there before you and stays after. The matching state of mind is noesis, reached through dialectic. Dialectic sounds mystical. It isn't. It's a rigorous, honest conversation. Step-by-step reasoning in dialogue, each claim tested, no assumption left unexamined. Unlike mathematics, which starts from axioms and runs forward, dialectic runs backward, interrogating the axioms themselves, asking why they should be granted at all. At the summit of the line sits the form of the good, not a moral rule, the source of intelligibility itself. What makes all the other forms knowable, the way the sun makes visible things visible. To glimpse the good is the end of philosophy. Everything below it is preparation. And dialectic, honest shared reasoning, is the only ladder that reaches it. Pull back and see what Plato has done. He has distrusted the senses and trusted logic and mathematics so completely that he has relocated real reality to a timeless, non-physical realm. Certainty for him must be divine, not human. If this is what reality looks like, the political question answers itself. Who should rule? Not the wealthy, not the popular, not the strong. The one who has climbed this ladder, the one who has glimpsed the good, and can therefore see what justice, courage, and the common good actually are, rather than their shadows. The Republic's entire political argument rests on this epistemology. The philosopher-king is not an elitist fantasy, it's a logical consequence of the divided line. If knowledge looks like this, then only knowers should govern. This structure haunts Western thought. Christian theologians will place God where Plato placed the good. Rationalists from Descartes to Leibniz will trust pure reason over the senses for the same reasons Plato did. Even modern physics, when it insists the real world is mathematical structure beneath the appearances, is walking on Plato's line. Every time someone tells you the real truth lies beneath the surface, that appearances deceive, that certainty belongs to logic and not to eyes, they are echoing this diagram, whether they know it or not. Plato drew a line. 24 centuries later, we are still trying to decide whether to step across it.